It's not what they call you, it's what you respond to. You see, I know that deep down you're thinking to yourself, I can't do this. I know deep down you're thinking to yourself, why me? I know deep down you are really thinking you're not even worthy to be able to step into this position that you're in. Well, in today's episode, we will address that. We will make sure by today's episode, you will have a better understanding where, as they say in the good book, trouble don't last always. Now, if you're new to this episode, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, listen, I'll keep it simple. It just simply means Ed. I have an 8-point framework, and these 8 points, my goal, my mission, my job today is to unpack today's title, which is entitled The Imposter Syndrome as a Working Project Coordinator. You mind if I share a story with you? I remember the first time I got my taste or my feel or the embracement of the imposter syndrome. You see, it started because I had this ideal of being a project coordinator. And it really didn't really start there, if we're really going to be honest. It started in sports, but when it became to my professional career, someone took a shot on me. Let me be honest. Someone really did take a chance on me and invested in me and said, hey, I see something in you as a future project manager, if that's the route you want to go. But I have to be honest with you, this is going to be a journey. And I don't want you to get caught up in the destination so much that you lose focus of what you're becoming in the journey. And I looked at this person and I said, well, listen, I appreciate that, but I don't have that type of skill set. I've watched you at meetings because I was an actual stakeholder, and the way you led those meetings or the way that you held people accountable and the way that you talked to people, even to the executives on down, it seemed like you could do this in your sleep. And see, what I failed to realize is that he unpacked that for me in a way. He said, man, if I could just show you my journey. And we started going down this journey. And then that is when I had the aha moment. The moment that right then and there I changed my mind and I changed my life at the same time. And see, what I realize is that if I want something bad enough, if I'm willing to put the work in, if I'm willing to do what others won't do so I can have what others won't have, it's possible. So today, when I unpack these 8 family, I hope you lock in with me. I hope that you pay attention. I hope there's something that you can take away from today so we can crack that code of being an imposter while you're working as a project coordinator. Let's get to work. Point number 1. Don't set expectations, set standards. And I'm going to say that again. Don't set expectations, set standards. What is that? What do you mean by that? See, a lot of times that we can get caught up in the beliefs of expectations. I've shared with you many times over and over again that we can get caught up in the expectation. And when we get caught up in the expectation and when it doesn't come through, we're frustrated. We feel like a failure. It's just not going to work. But when we set a standard, this is our standard. This is what we do. This is something we breathe. This is something we eat. So it's not even an expectation. We know this is going to happen. It may not happen today. It may not happen a year from now. It may not even happen from 2 years from now. But we know if we stay the course, if we stay the journey, it is possible. And if because it's possible, this is my standard. This is how I operate as a project coordinator. This is how I lead these projects when the project manager hands it over to me. This is how I support the project manager. So again, family, I say don't set expectations, set standards. Point number 2. You need to identify your past success to combat that negative talk. I talked about it in my another imposter syndrome video that I did. And what I've realized is that a lot of times what happens is that we forget what we went through. We forget to have that glance at the rear view and look through the windshield. We forget that, hey, you know what? We just didn't we overcome something before in our life? And if we did, how come we don't use that as motivation? How come we don't use that as inspiration? You know why? Because we're looking at what we're dealing with right now. And what we're looking at, what we're dealing right now, we start creating those stories. That's why I said, it's so easy to talk negative. It's so easy to say that you're an imposter. It's so easy to look down on yourself. But do you know what's hard? to really believe you could do this, to really believe that as you're working as a project coordinator, that you can truly have an impact, an influence, and equip people to have the success that they wanted. And you benefit because you get to benefit off of their success. So when you start going down that negative talk and start having those negative conversations, I challenge you, and I know it's going to be hard. I deal with it day in and day out. I am not perfect. I tell you by a long shot. So that's why I can sit here with confidence and really articulate out to you the importance of addressing that negative talk. And it may not work on day one. Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. It may not work on day 72. But the process is what is important. The process of keep moving forward, the process of keep believing that I just need to get 1% better. I just need to put one foot in front of the other is going to be important. Let's move on to point number three. Point number three, recognize the symptoms. A lot of times we don't understand what are those symptoms. What are symptoms? I have a sore throat or I'm coughing. These are symptoms. How are you, but what is making you sick? What is making you cough? What is making you have a actual sore throat? And we have to be able to have the ability, or watch this family, the competence to see what is triggering us to exhibit some of these particular symptoms. So here's my recommendation. I've done it sometimes I've gotten it right, and sometimes I haven't. And that's me just being transparent with you. Keep a journal when you start feeling these particular feelings and thoughts about your particular work performance. And then be able to, over time, you'll have an opportunity to go back and look over that and see what triggered that. It may be somebody, you were in a meeting and somebody said, man, this project coordinator don't know what they're doing. Why are they here? And they may have been saying that because they're frustrated about you giving them more work, or they're frustrated because they thought that you're actually doing the right thing, but because the project coordinators before you didn't exhibit that, they're taking it out on you. So be careful of what you listen to and recognize those symptoms. Point number four, focus on the present. I love what Jim Rome talks about being where you are. Okay, you don't like that. Being a part of the environment that you're at. Okay, I don't even like that one. How about this one, family? The whole point of it is just sometimes imposter syndrome often leads to worrying about the future and dwelling on future mistakes that haven't even happened yet. Why not focus on where you are? Why not focus on the actual present and focus on the tasks that are in front of you? Here's an actionable item. When you find yourself worrying about the future or ruminating over the past, gently redirect yourself to the present moment. Gently push yourself to what the actions you can take now. Let's move on to point number five. Embrace failure as part of the process. Nobody loves the process. I know we all want to actually get to where we need to get to, but the process is something amazing. I used to remember my mom made this bang. I mean, just she every time she made one of these particular cakes, it's called a 7 Up pound cake. Yes, a pound cake. When she made that pound cake, in the community, we say she put her foot in it. And what we mean by that is that her ability to put together all of these ingredients and what comes out of that is so amazing. And a lot of times what we forget as we are going through our process is that we have to embrace the failure. All of those ingredients really are allowing us to get to the destination that we need to get to. And that is, and honestly, if we're really going to be honest with you, when you do have a growth mindset when it comes to this particular ideology, the destination doesn't really even matter because you're constantly trying to find ways to improve on yourself. But sometimes we need to understand that there is a destination there, but it really doesn't matter because the journey is what shapes you. The journey is what molds you. The journey is what really grows you up into embrace the failure or setback, and then you just take your time, just slightly. Now don't stay there too long, but stay there just enough so you can reflect on the lessons and learn and understand what opportunities can you extract out of that particular failure and improve, and then actually improve. Point number 6, celebrate your unique journey. Again, I keep talking about the journey. I know you guys gonna get tired of me. Y'all might start calling me journeyman, but celebrate your unique journey. You need to recognize that the path of actually working and becoming a project coordinator is really a unique and is valuable. So celebrate that journey, including the challenges, the obstacles that you've had to overcome during this journey. You know, one of the things, and this is just a sidebar I was just thinking about as I'm talking to you, family, is that when you are in an interview, really good interviewers always they ask a probing question, and it's phrased all different ways, but it's here's the foundation of the question is, what did you do when you were challenged with something, meaning like challenged with leading assisting the project manager or actually leading a project? How did you respond? What stress were you under? And I've listened to people how they respond to that, like, oh, I never really had that, and we all know that's a lie. They'll say, well, I was just able to push through, but that doesn't give the interviewer who's looking to hire you anything to go off of. And so what I'm saying to you, family, is being able to, what we talked about, document some of those imposter syndromes or feelings, and then you talk about that. See, I take, when I'm interviewing, I literally take things that I've been through, because a story of what you actually, the trial and tribulation that you had, and then how you accomplish it, is not sounding cocky, it's not sounding arrogant. They asked a question, you need to provide the answer. Let's move on to point number 7. Reframe from imposter syndrome as a growth opportunity. What do you mean by that, Ed? What I mean is that view imposter syndrome as a sign that you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. You're going to have to learn, family, when you're a project coordinator, even if you make the transition to project manager, you're going to be uncomfortable. Why are you going to be uncomfortable? You're going to have to learn how to be uncomfortable in a comfortable zone, because there are going to be a lot of times where problems are going to come up and you're going to have to solve them. There's going to be conflicts that are going to occur between stakeholders. How do you get in front of them before it really messes the project up and you can't continue the momentum that you once had? You're going to have budget issues. You're going to have scheduling issues. There's going to be things that come up, but that is the conjunction here. You have a way to resolve these things by ensuring that you are getting the team involved and getting in front of it before it actually happens. Point number 8, embrace humility. Really, family, embrace humility. Practice humility by acknowledging that everyone has their areas of growth and development. I have areas of growth and development. You have areas of growth and development. But recognizing that and seeking help. You know what I always talk about at this channel, and I wish more people would talk about this: the importance of mentors, the importance of having, I call it my advisory council or the council. It's important to have a coach. Why I keep saying that is because they're a chapter or two or even more ahead of you. Why not learn from them? And then why wouldn't you want to pay them so you can ensure that when you, as I heard someone say, how I vote is I vote with my wallet, meaning I'm willing to invest in a good mentor. I'm willing to invest in a good coach that's willing to is not about the shortcuts, but to help me course correct in the journey. I like that. Let me tell you why. Because on this journey, if you're not going down the right path, you any pathway will work. But when you have a coach, when you have a mentor, when you have a trainer, they can course correct you. Like, no, you don't want to go that way just yet. Let's keep going straight. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. You got this. You can do this. So the importance, when you are facing challenging or uncertain opportunities, the role of a mentor, coach, trainer, whatever you want to label, or my advisor, they proactively help you seek guidance and support to help you achieve the mission. Here's my bonus, family: develop a support network. As you know, I talked about my council and my advisory council, mentoring, coaching. I'm going to recommend to you, sign up for a coach, sign up for a mentor. Do your homework, of course, to see how they work. I'm a mentor, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer. If you want to work with me, I'm here as well. But I will warn you, I'm going to expect a lot out of you because I'm going to expect the same out of myself as I'm helping you and assisting you. So if it's something I can help and assist you with, you know where to find me. Here's my closing remark. Here's three. Don't set expectation, set standards. As we discussed, a lot of times you get frustrated because you had certain expectations, but when you set a standard, it really cancels expectations. Standards say, I don't care what they said, this is my standard. Standards say that, yeah, I know that you only want to do it halfway, but I'm going to do the full work. I'm going to keep pushing while you are sitting there frustrated with your expectations. Standards, ladies and gentlemen. Point number two, focus on the present. Listen, be where you are right now, meaning I'm here shooting this video just for you. I am focused on shooting this content for you. Whatever you're doing as a project coordinator, be where you are. Don't have your mind at while you're at work. Don't have your mind on the beach, or don't have your mind at, oh man, I can't wait to get home. I got these clothes, or don't wait till you get, I got all. Just be where you are. You're going to get to that place eventually, but just focus on where you're at. And the last and final point, I'm going to say this, families, you truly want to embrace humility. And that basically, practicing humility allows you to really acknowledge some areas of opportunity for yourself, meaning growth and development, and recognizing that seeking help is not a negative thing. It's saying that because I want to be better than I was, I'm willing to invest and work with a coach, mentor, or trainer so I can take my career to the next level. Family, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I go by the name of ED. Until next time, you know my slogan, you know my motto. It's simple. I'm out of here.